call to serve. It has no sound, yet I have heard it.
In this particular case, the plaintiff, a man by the name of Jose Gomez, received several text messages. They were sent at the behest of the U.S. Navy, saying essentially, please join the Navy. That was a violation of the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, the TCPA. It is intended to protect the privacy of people who own telephones. One of the provisions of this law, you cannot send an unsolicited text message or a robocall to a cell phone. And not only is that prohibited, but the statute provides a civil penalty of $500 for every time that you make an improper call. Therefore, he was entitled to file suit and to claim damages of $500 for every call he received. Article 3 of the United States Constitution limits federal courts to hearing real cases in which there is an actual controversy, in which the parties have some kind of personal stake. So the issue in this case is that the plaintiff very clearly did at one point have a personal stake, but very soon after he filed suit, the defendant said, I agree with you, you're right, I'll pay you everything you're asking for. And therefore, once I pay you, you don't have a personal stake in this case anymore, and the case should be over. This case is really about the ability to go forward with class actions. The Supreme Court is going to decide whether that's an appropriate use of the federal courts. On the one hand, people who are on the plaintiff's side of the case say, look, there were 100,000 people who were injured here and are entitled to damages, but they're never going to, on their own, be able to find lawyers and bring 100,000 separate lawsuits. Therefore, class actions are an appropriate way to allow a lot of people to get a small amount of relief that they couldn't get on their own. Defendants argue quite the opposite, that this is a very inappropriate use of our federal courts, that once a plaintiff has been fully compensated for his claim, he doesn't have a right to continue in federal court and to continue to press his claims after he has been fully compensated. Probably the court is going to say that the case is moot, there's no jurisdiction in the federal courts, and therefore that is the end of the case.
America's Navy, a global force for good.